Hi guys, it's Miss Horn and it's Monday. We're going to continue with measurement this week. Okay, we're going to be comparing length. That's lesson 20. You should be on page 182 and 183 in your iReady instruction book. Okay, so I'm going to spin our camera back around so we can get started. Alright, this is what your page should look like in your instruction book. Yours will be in color though. Okay, it says use what you know. You know how to measure length. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. It says Layla found this spoon and fork with her tea set. Measure each object in centimeters. Which object is longer? Don't make the mistake of just looking at the picture and say, oh, spoon is sticking out further. They're kind of tricking you. You got to remember about how we learned how to use a ruler. We always got to line it up on the zero. Well, you also have to line, when you're measuring objects, comparing them, you have to make sure that they're lined up evenly. So you can't just look at the picture and say, well, the spoon's longer because it's sticking out further than the fork. Well, yes it is, but it's not lined up correctly with the fork. Okay? So we're going to need to measure here. Okay? And there's important information in the question. It says, Layla found the spoon and fork in her tea set. Measure each object in centimeters. Which object is longer? Okay. Well, the important information is here, centimeters. This is the unit of measurement that they're wanting you to use to measure these two objects. Okay. So when you get your ruler to measure with, you need to make sure that you're looking at the side that has the cm, which is the abbreviation for centimeters, okay? So we're going to start with the spoon. Make sure that you line it up properly. It says you always need to start with the zero. And the zero here is not written, but it's right here, this little line where it says cm. That's where the actual zero is, because it goes from 0 to 1. So we need to line that little line up with the end of our spoon here. Right? So let's count and see how many centimeters our spoon is. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 centimeters long. So I'm just going to come out here to the side and write 8 cm. Alright, well, let's move down here to the fork. Same process. You need to make sure and line it up correctly, as close as you can. Right? So let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our fork is 10 centimeters long. So now we know which one is longer. Which one is longer? Our fork. So let's put in our information that we discovered from measuring, okay? It says, what is the length of the spoon in centimeters? Our spoon is 8 centimeters. And you don't need to write the cm beside it because it actually has the word written out here for you. B, what is the length of the fork? The length of our fork is 10 centimeters. Which object is longer? Well, we already found that out. We just need to write in the word here. Fork. Okay? And then D, explain how you know which object is longer. Well, what was the process we just did? What did we just do with our rulers and we wrote our numbers out here? What do we call that? We call that measuring. So we measured both objects and found out that the fork was longer. Now your answer doesn't have to be exactly like Miss Horn's, but it has to be based off the information we did up here. How do you know? We measured. And your explanation could be a little different. You could say we measured both objects. The spoon was 8 and the fork was 10. So I knew that the fork was longer. There's different ways to say it. Alright? So let's flip over to that next page here. Find out more. Okay? It says, what is the difference between the length of the spoon and the length of the fork? There's another important word in here. We studied when we were doing addition and subtraction. We talked about some keywords. There won't always be keywords. But in this one here, there is. It says, what is the difference between the length of the spoon and the length of the fork? Well, that word difference right here lets us know that we're going to have to subtract to find out what we're wanting to know. There's two ways to do this. Okay? We know that our fork was 10 centimeters. We know that our spoon was 8 centimeters. Okay? You could simply set up an equation, a number sentence. You could say 10 centimeters minus 8 centimeters equals 2 centimeters. You can make a number sentence or an equation. Or you can also look right here. They used the ruler like a number line. They lined up the larger object on top and the smaller object below it. And look, they lined them up evenly with the 0. That's important, or you won't get the correct answer. So they took where the end of the spoon ended, which was 8, and they just hopped on the number line, like we've done. 8, 9, 10, and that lines up with the end of the fork. And you made 2 jumps, so you know by using either one of these methods that the fork is 2 centimeters longer than the spoon, and that the spoon is 2 centimeters shorter than the fork. Both of these are saying the same thing in just a different way. Okay? So let's reflect. It says, talk about it. Zuri and Marco want to find the difference in their heights. Explain how they could do this. Well, you guys do it in line out on the playground all the time. I see you sticking your hands going from your forehead to your friends trying to see who's taller. Well, that's one way. That's kind of like estimating. You know, if your hand goes straight across and you touch the other person's forehead, then they're probably taller than you or the same height. But we want to get an exact measurement here. So how could you do that? Look at this example they gave you up here. Okay? So could you could both measure your heights, then whoever had the larger number, you could subtract the person with the smaller number. And what I mean by that is, if me and Miss Cerrone were trying to decide who was taller, let's just say, for example, Miss Cerrone was 60 inches tall. Okay? I'm going to put an S for Miss Cerrone. Alright? And I'm going to put an H for me, Miss Horn. Say I was 58 inches tall. Okay? We measured both of our heights. Who has the larger number? Miss Cerrone. So we could put 60 inches here. Okay. Who had the smaller number? Miss Horn, 58 inches. Okay. And you could do it this way. This would be a difference of 2 centimeters. We compared who had the largest number. Miss Cerrone. So Miss Cerrone is taller than Miss Horn. What is the difference in our heights? You can set it up just like this. Okay? Or you can even do your base 10 blocks and figure out the difference that way. Okay? Thank you for joining us today, guys. I look forward to seeing you later on in the week. So if you need to review this lesson and go back over it, please feel free to. And when you get a chance, follow up this lesson with pages 205 and 206 in your iReady workbook. Okay? This will go along with the lesson we just had. All right. Have a good afternoon. Hope to see you soon.